Welcome to the Gals Guide to the Galaxy podcast, where a group of gals gather for you one cool thing around our topic of the month. Is it ancient history? Is it breaking news? Is it safe for work? Well, that's up to each gal. All we know is that...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It's a new month at the Gals Guide Library, and for the first time ever, we are celebrating America's ass. I mean Captain America. I mean Marvel gals. Let me introduce my small team of Avengers, as we only have 3 episodes this month, and Katie was just so happy not to be reamed through any geek coals this time. So first up, it is Library Manager of Gals Guide and a proud geek. It is Bonnie Fillenworth. Yay! Woo-hoo! So Bonnie, tell the good people all about yourself.
My name is Bonnie Fillenworth. I'm a visual artist, and I do paintings of women throughout history. I'm also the library manager at Gals Guide and the vice president.
Exactly.
And I'm very excited.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Get all that geeky nerdiness. Woo, woo, woo. Next up, my daughter is joining us, and I was very torn with introducing her as either I Love You 3000 or the Negasonic Teenage Warhead to my Deadpool. So I just basically introduced her as both. It's Cammie Leach, everybody. Woo! So Cammie, tell the good people all about yourself.
I am a crazed Marvel nerd,
yes,
as well as Star Wars, Pokemon, and everything else. I am Cammie Leach. Marvel Month is one of the main times you can actually pull me out here to do this.
Woo woo.
And I am a college student trying to survive and using summer as an escape.
Yes.
So that's mostly me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. As for me, I am Dr. Leah Leach. I am the executive director of Gals Guide, and I may have a Wonder Woman tattoo, but I also have Marvel Madness. See what I did there? I'm totally geeking out about this month. We have a banner out front with Tony Stark. I actually had somebody correct me. His name is pronounced Stark, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I know it's not Tony Stank. But it's already bringing new people into the library, and we even postponed this recording, thank you, Bonnie, so that we could go see Thor Love and Thunder last night. So that's how much of a geek we are. Also, I get to find out how many people I get to recommend Unbeatable Squirrel Girl to this month. So that'll be awesome. So Cammie already convinced her to check out some of them.
I have all of them.
But you also read pretty fast.
True, but have you seen my stack of comics?
You have a lot.
Have
exactly.
you seen my stack?
I know, it's amazing.
It's insane.
I'm proud. Okay, so before we dive into our first Marvel Gal, let's look at our calendar for this week. So for the week of July 11th through the 17th, on Saturday, we'll have a booth at the Celebration in Equity in Education in Carmel, Indiana from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So for more information, go to the Gals Guide calendar at galsguide.org. and click on that lovely calendar or calendar, if you will.
Hey.
So now the big question is, Bonnie, who is your one cool Marvel gal?
Let me get it pulled up. I wasn't ready.
You're like, wait a minute, I go first. That's right. This is a thing.
My one cool Marvel gal is Louise Simonson, also known as Weezie.
Weezie! I think I love her already, and I know nothing about her. I love this. Okay, yes.
Great. She was one of the first female editors at Marvel in the 1980s.
Ooh, yes.
She was born September 26, 1946 in Georgia.
Sweet.
And
Georgia Peach.
Yeah.
Just like Cammie. Oh, look what I did there.
She met Jeffrey Catherine Jones while in college, and they married in 1966 and had a daughter named Juliana, born in 1967. They moved to New York City, and Louise and Jeffrey divorced sometime in the early 70s.
Gotcha.
And Jeffrey has since transitioned in the late 90s. And unfortunately died in 2011.
Oh.
But I was like reading I was like, wait, they married in the 70s? Like,
yeah.
This article keeps saying she.
Oh.
I was like, did I click on the wrong link here?
Nice.
So I had to go through.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But Louise met Walt Simonson in 1973. And they started dating in 74 and married in 1980.
Gotcha.
Louise started working at Warren Publishing when they make black and white horror comics.
I was going to say, I thought they sounded
Big one
familiar-ish.
is,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember how to pronounce this, like Vampira or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Vampira.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
And she was, when she was working there, she was working on, like, writing the ads for, like, I guess, like, in the back, there'd be like, you can get this bust of Elvira, or, you know.
Yes. Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's working on that.
The merchandising.
Yes. But she just kind of, like, it seemed like both there and when she went to Marvel, she's just like, yeah, I could do that. Like,
Sweet.
like someone would quit or whatever. I could do that. Like, so she just kind of did
Good way
everything
to do it, yeah.
that she could do.
Jack of all trades.
They ended up creating an assistant editor position just for her. They didn't have one before that. And she eventually became the senior editor.
Nice.
Jim Shooter from Marvel offered her a job. She, like, played volleyball with a bunch of the Marvel dudes.
Okay.
Fun.
I mean, I have a lot of questions. A, Marvel dudes playing sports. B, volleyball is the sport that they play?
80s? 80s?
Oh, did they all watch Top Gun?
I was going to mention Top Gun. I was waiting to see how long it would take.
No,
to
you gotta
mention.
it gotta work pretty fast. Yeah, okay, so they all saw that montage? Okay, got it.
Apparently. But while she was there, she worked on X-Men comics,
Yes.
on Conan the Barbarian, and more.
Sweet.
She co-created Power Pack with
Okay.
June Brigman, which features 4 preteen superheroes, which was, like,
Of course it does.
new back then.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
She had
They
the
were
idea...
before the New Mutants.
Yeah. She had the idea for these young superheroes, and her boss, James Shooter, was not excited about it.
Oh.
She asked June if she could draw kids. June had worked as a caricature artist
Oh, yeah.
at a theme park. So they submitted the proposal, and Shooter said, great! First issue will be a double issue, like a double thick, like a double...
No
and
pressure.
then it's due in 2 weeks. Or not 2 weeks, 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
2
God.
weeks is more.
I'm still, like, 2 months is still, wow. Yeah, sure.
June had never drawn a whole comic before.
Never mind a double.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But they did it, and it's like, it's a thing.
Power Pack.
It was a long time running comic, and
Huh. Sweet.
it said, along with fighting aliens and supervillains, the team's stories were known for focusing on morality debates and social issues such as child abuse,
Yeah.
homelessness, drug abuse, bullying, and the ethics of using excessive or lethal force in combat.
Ooh, look
So
at that.
not just, Powerpuff Girls stuff here.
The Powerpuff Girls. Yeah.
She helped create the character of X-Men of Cable
Oh, yeah.
and Steel
Okay, yeah.
and the villain Apocalypse.
Hey, a lot of those show up in Deadpool.
Yeah, I was going to say, all those appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and
Yep.
X-Men movies.
Exactly.
And she even has a cameo in the 2011 Thor movie.
Really?
You have to go and look for her.
Where might she be?
I'm not sure.
Okay, she's just
go
in there
look.
somewhere. Okay, all right, gotcha.
Because I need to go rewatch
Yeah.
them all before I see Lady Thor.
Yes. Oh my god, you're gonna love it.
And just all the interviews I've seen online, she is such a delight. Like,
She's having the time of her life.
she sounds like just this amazing lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly recommend watching any of the interviews with her.
Sweet.
Or if she's on a panel at your local comic convention.
Yeah.
And while doing research to try and find my lady
Yes.
for the podcast, I discovered there's a Women of Marvel podcast.
There's a podcast of Women of Marvel?
It's like over 250 episodes.
What?
And they had an episode on her where they interviewed her.
Lovely.
I think it was maybe their first episode.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to totally
if
check
you
that
like
out.
podcasts,
Right, and you like Marvel,
yeah,
then
A, you're
check it
here,
out.
and B, check out that one.
Exactly. Oh, that sounds amazing. I know there are some there's like a comic that is dedicated to the Women of Marvel, which is the characters. They'll kind of like put them together.
Louise did a forward for the first one.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
There is a book, The Women of Marvel. I didn't get it for the library yet, but it's on our wish list that talks about some of the creators and stuff like that, which we totally gotta get. So, yeah. Yes. Oh, that's cool. I dig the podcast, though.
So she's still around. She's still kicking, still working.
Sweet.
She's like 74 or something.
Awesome sauce.
She's great.
I love it. I love it. What was her name again?
Louise.
Yeah.
Weezie.
Louise Weezie. There we go.
Simonson.
Weezie. I mean, I'm never going to forget a Weezie. I like that.
She definitely seems like a Weezie. She's so freaking adorable. She's so nice. Like, I want to give her a hug.
Right? Exactly. I absolutely love it. Did you have any questions for Bonnie?
Not that I can think of. Just basking in the amazingness.
Yeah. Exactly. I love this. I'm definitely going to have to learn more about Weezie and just kind of like dive into being able to see her.
The Weeziness.
The Weeziness. Yes, exactly. Fantastic. All right. Well, that I shall wrap up this fantastic first episode of Marvel Gals. So join us next time for another cool woman of history as the Gals Guide podcast continues. Thanks for listening. For show notes, links, and images from this week's show, visit galsguide.org. Want exclusive stuff like deleted bits and major bloopers? Become a Gals Guide patron today. Thanks for listening.